Nepal is a country rich in cultural diversities. There are traditions that have been followed from time immemorial and are deeply ingrained in the individuals. Despite all the colorful, bright, beautiful, and inclusive traditions, there is a long-run tradition practiced in almost all of the families, treating menstruated girls and women as impure and restricting them to enter the kitchen or religious places. Followed by a festival celebrated annually by women to cleanse off all the sins they have committed throughout the year by touching items that have been deemed untouchable during their natural monthly cycle. But this does not just stop here. In the western part of Nepal, the menstruated females are banished to the veranda, cowshed, or a cold, dingy hut located outside their homes. Forbidden to enter their own homes, yet asked to do hard labor of working in farms, lifting heavy baskets, all the while being barred from drinking milk or any milk products during the time of vulnerability, leaves them prone to many health-related attacks. This tradition is named as Chhaupadi Pratha, of which the literal meaning is the tradition of the untouchables. Menstruation here is still treated as a taboo. Not every individual or family talks about it openly. Formal education on menstruation and its biological process comes only under the curriculum of 8th or 9th grade. That is the time by when maximum girls already have had their menstruation, but still the proper hygiene and maintenance information is left untaught. The city and town girls with an access to internet have the option of educating themselves regarding it. However, girls from the remote areas, void of any such facilities, remain in the dark, making them more likely to continue with such harmful practices. The district I had been to had 70 to 80% of women suffering from uterus prolapses due to unhealthy practices, and also were there several cases of death due to snake bites or suffocation in the Chhaupadi hut while on their periods. Many NGOs and INGOs have been working on the abolishment of Chhaupadi. It had been outlawed by the Supreme Court in 2005, and in this year of 2017, it has been criminalized. However, change in practice requires change in attitude, change in mentality, and such change can only be brought through education. A long-run tradition like Chhaupadi can only be fully terminated with the help of proper education, which would create awareness and develop positivity. Let's Be Period Positive is My Beauty with a Purpose project, which focuses on menstrual health hygiene awareness program to educate and empower the women of rural areas. After the proper research through internet, newspapers and field visit to the district, also through the meetings with gynecologists, biomedical engineers, government officials of the district, Justice of Supreme Court, and NGO Mitra Samaj Mitini Nepal and United Nations Population Funds Nepal, I planned my entire educational campaign. Tea with Miss Nepal World was conducted as a charity event where many business individuals and corporate houses had been contributors. Using the funds collected, I visited 3 remote villages of Dailik district of Midwestern Nepal. Both male and female members were assembled for the purpose of menstrual education, with interactive sessions conducted where they were encouraged to put their views about menstruation. I provided the girls and ladies with kits having some basic materials necessary during menstruation that are readily available in rural settings. a hygienically prepared hand washing and cloth washing soap, a cotton undergarment, a pack of affordable sanitary napkins, few pieces of soft pure cotton fabric, which is the traditional and most accessible material. But of course, I taught them on how to make the reuse of it healthy and hygienic. The girls and the school teachers of the villages were provided with a comic book, a Menstrupedia comic, written in local language to encourage them to conduct regular educational session on menstrual hygiene. After witnessing the disheartening situation many of the women and girls in my country have to go through during their natural cycle, I have made it my mission to continue spreading awareness about menstrual health and hygiene every chance I get. I hope my attempt will be a successful one, as I believe that one ripple of awareness can go on to create large waves of change.
Let's be real and positive!
Next we have Nepal.
Namaste world, this is Nepal and I am Miss World Nepal 2017 Nikita Chandak Maheshwari. Growing up in a joint family in a small town of eastern Nepal, I always thought I was very special. The passion of being in the spotlight drove me to being a ramp model. Facing some struggles initially, I received recognition at one of the biggest modeling shows in Nepal. Which took me to yet another level of participating and eventually winning the most coveted crown of Miss World Nepal. I'm extremely grateful for having got such a prestigious and beautiful platform of Miss World, where humanity is the core of the entire celebration.
Nepal, your video was so beautiful. Tell us about one of the sites that we saw in your video.
The place where I got my video shoot done is one of the 10 World Heritage Sites that my country Nepal has, Swayambhunath Temple. It is also known as the Monkey Temple. It is some 2000 years old and one of the most sacred religious and pilgrimage sites for Buddhists. It is situated atop a hill and from where the view of entire valley of Kathmandu is visible. Thank you.
Great. Hopefully we can all take a visit. Welcome back. It's time for the final question. Now the contestants were all given the question before the show. I'll read it one more time and you'll each have 30 seconds to answer. Best of luck. Are we destroying our planet or is it a media myth? Nepal.
Just the way every coin has two sides, everything has advantages and disadvantages. We all human beings, we are being benefited by all the development and everything has become so easy for the mankind with the growth of technologies. But of course, there is destruction of the nature, extinction of animals, deforestation. We do not even get fresh air to breathe every time. So yes, the planet is being destructed and the result is very much visible with the frequent natural disasters happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Nepal. Remember, there are 3 ways to vote. Like the contestants' official Miss World Facebook page, vote for them on the Miss World website, or follow them on their official Mobstar account. The contestant with the most increases in votes, likes, and follows after this episode will advance directly to the Miss World Final 40.
birthplace of the light of Asia and apostle of peace, Lord Buddha, home of the living goddess and the Amazon of Asia. A country where 8 out of 14 highest peaks lie, home to 7 UNESCO designated World Heritage Sites. A country whose unique non-rectangular flag is hoisted by smiling and welcoming 30 million people coming from diverse castes and cultures. Namaste world, this is Nepal and I am Miss World Nepal 2017 Nikita Chandak Maheshwari. As a child, I was a quiet, reserved and a shy girl, growing up in a joint family in a small town of eastern Nepal. I always thought I was very special. Being highly influenced by movies, I used to think life was a movie and I was the lead actor with invisible cameras and audience. With time, I discovered my inclination towards movie was stemmed from my love for performing arts. The stage, spotlight, cameras gave me life. And this led me to attain many honorable posts such as the Culture Secretary of my school and awards like the President Award, also given to the Student of the Year. The passion of being in the spotlight drove me to being a ramp model. Facing some struggles initially, I received recognition at one of the biggest modeling shows in Nepal. Which took me to yet another level of participating and eventually winning the most coveted crown of Miss World Nepal. I'm extremely grateful for having got such a prestigious and beautiful platform of Miss World, where humanity is the core of the entire celebration.